Okay, so we'll continue with learning the meanings. Last session we had finished with Slokam 11, so now we will start to the meaning from Slokam 12, which is tasya loka pradhanasya jagannathasya bhupate. So in the previous Slokam 11, Bhishmacharya had answered all of Yudhishthira's 6 questions. He could have stopped there, but he doesn't, and says in this Slokam, I am going to tell you the 1,000 names of that being who is the master of the entire universe and the lord of the destitutes. Listen, it will destroy your sin and fear. So in this Slokam, in the second line, Bhishma says, Shrunu. Shrunu means listen, or Tamil kelu. So he's saying, listen, I'm going to talk about the glorious names of tasya, that being. So what is the that is being referenced here by the word tasya? It is all that Bhishma has described so far, starting from Slokam 4, Jagat Prabhum Deva Deva Anantam, all the way up to Slokam 11, Yatas Sarvani Bhutani. Tasya, that refers to the one who is Jagat Prabhum, Lord of the universe, Deva Devam, God of all gods, Lokanam Kirti Vardhanam, etc. So all those attributes that I had described before, that is being referred to the word by this word tasya here, that being. That being, loka pradhanasya. He is the master of the entire universe. In the Sri Vaishnava Sampradayam, the Seshan concept is highly stressed. Sriman Narayana is the Seshi, the master who accepts our kainkaryam or service. The Jivatma is the Seshan, the one who does the service. That Seshi is loka pradhanasya, the master of the whole universe. Jagannathasya, he is the lord of the whole universe. The whole universe moves at his command. Bhupate, O Yudhishthira. So Bhupati means king, and Yudhishthira is being addressed here as king. Bhupate, O Yudhishthira. Vishnor nama sahasram, the 1,000 names of Vishnu, who is the loka pradhanasya and jagannathasya, may, from me, shrunu, listen, kelu. By listening, what will happen? Papa bhayapaham. Papam, sin, and bhayam, fear, will be destroyed. Papam and bhayam. One is the karanam, cause, and the other is the karyam, the effect. Just like a fever is the effect, the cause, karanam, is some disease that is in the body. Similarly, papam is the cause which creates the bhayam. So, in order to remove the effect, you have to attack the cause. So, to remove fever, you have to tackle the underlying disease in the body. Here, Bhishmacharya says, these 1,000 names will remove both the papam, the cause, and the bhayam, the effect. Now, the reason that Yudhishthira has come to Bhishma for advice and was asking about all the dharmas is because he is in fear of what narakam or hell he will get because of all the deaths that happen in the Kurukshetra war. Bhishma says, the 1,000 names will remove your sin and fear. Listen, Shrunu. So, all that I am talking to you, of course, is based on all the Upanyasams of Sri Velakuri Krishnan Swamin. And Swamin gives a very nice analogy of what Bhishma has done here. The analogy is that, say you are driving in India and you've gone to a new town and you want to get to some place and you don't know how to get there. Usually what we would do, at least in the days before GPS came, we would probably ask a passerby, somebody standing on the street, you ask him, how do I get to this place? And that person usually will say, well, you go left here, you take a second left, you go straight at the temple, you take a right, and he'll give you a whole bunch of instructions. You'll follow it. Maybe the first 2 instructions you'll get right. After that, you'll forget it and you'll get lost. So that is one scenario, scenario A. There's a second scenario B, where that person that you asked on the street for directions, he will take a look inside your car and see that there's an empty seat, and he'll say, you know what, I'm going that direction anyway. Let me come inside your car and I will direct you there. you will get to your place and I will get to my place. That is scenario B. So, what Bhishma has done here is scenario B. He could have done the first scenario and just answered Yudhishthira's 6 questions, say, do Nama Sankirtanam, Stuvan, and he could have stopped there. But he didn't do that. Like in the second scenario, he went a step further and he said, let me explain to you the 1,000 names that you can use for your Nama Sankirtanam, for your chanting. So, just like that person on the street, he had a self-interest as well to get into the car because he also wanted to go to that place. Bhishma also has a self-interest here because he loves to chant these 1,000 names and uses this as a reason to not only chant them but also teach it to his grandson for his benefit. Okay, so let's move on to the next slokam, 13. Yani, namani, gaunani, vikhyatani, mahatmanah, rishibhi, parigitani, tani vakshami, bhutaye. So in the previous slokam, Bhishma said, listen, I will tell you the 1,000 names. A doubt would have arisen in Yudhishthira's mind and our minds as well. Why 1,000 names? Wouldn't 10 names or even 20 names be enough? The answer is revealed in this slokam. Yani, namani, gaunani. These names, namani, describe the gunas or auspicious qualities of Mahavishnu. So each of the 1,000 names describes a guna of Perumal. Guna means an auspicious quality. For example, the first name, Vishwam, means one who is complete with auspicious attributes. The second name, Vishnu, means one who permeates everything, one who is in everything. Similar names like Keshava, the one who has beautiful hair. Madhava, one who is the lord of Pirati or Mahalakshmi is Madhava. Rishikeshan, one who has control of the senses. So, these names, they talk about Sriman Narayana's gunas and also his kriyas, some of his actions and leelas in the various avatarams. So, namani, gaunani, each one of these names describes an auspicious quality. Now, because Sriman Narayana has infinite number of auspicious qualities, these 1,000 names only cover a small portion of those qualities. If we can understand the meaning of these names, it enables us to meditate on those auspicious qualities of Perumal. So what types of names are these? Vikhyatani mahatmanaha. They are very celebrated and accepted names. Rishibihi parigitani. Names that have been sung by the rishis with love. Tani vakshyami. Those names I will tell. Bhutaye, for the good of the world. So again here Velukuri Swamin gives a very nice analogy. Just as a bee collects pollen from different flowers and puts it together and converts it into honey, similarly Bhishma has pulled these 1,000 names from the various Puranas and has made it into a mala or a garland. For example, the name Vishwam was taken from one Purana, the name Vishnu was taken from another Purana, etc. So Bhishma says, O Dharmaputra, there is no way that you would be able to do this. So I have done this for you. This is for your benefit. And of course, it's for our benefit too. Moving on to the next slokam, 5. Vishnor nama sahasrasya vedavyaso mahamunihi chando nushtub tatha devo bhagavan devaki sutaha. Now, this slokam and the next slokam start to identify the unique characteristics of the Vishnu Sahasranamam Stotram. That is, the rishi who revealed it, the poetic meter in which it is written, the deity who is the object of worship, etc. So this slokam says, Vishnor nama sahasrasya, for these 1,000 names of Vishnu, Vedavyaso Mahamunihi, the great rishi Vedavyasa is the seer. So Vedavyasa is the rishi who noted the 1,000 names as they were revealed by Bhishma to Yudhishthira. So Vedavyaso Mahamunihi Chando Nushtub. So the meter, the poetic meter that is used in all the slokams of Vishnu Sahasranamam is called Anushtub. A slokam written in Anushtub meter has a total of 32 syllables. Each pada or quarter of the slokam has 8 syllables each. Since a slokam has 4 padas, 4 times 8, 32 syllables are in the whole Slokam. So let's take an example. Let's take this Slokam as an example. The first pada is visnor nama sahasrasya. Now this is made up of 8 syllables. Vishnuhu, 2 syllables. Nama, 2 syllables. Sahasrasya, 4 syllables. So 2 plus 2 plus 4 is 8 syllables in this pada. Similarly, the next pada, Veda Vyaso Maha Munihi. Veda 1 2, Vyaso 3 4, Maha 5 6, Munihi 7 8. So second pada is also made of 8 syllables. So 4 padas containing 8 syllables each make up 32 syllables in each slokam. Now every slokam in the Vishnu Sahasranamam follows this anushtup meter. And the meter in Sanskrit is called chandaha, so it follows anushtup chandaha meter. Now there are other meters as well. For example, Gayatri mantram is in a meter called Gayatri, which is made up of 24 syllables. But Sahasranamam is in anushtup meter, which is 32 syllables. Tata Devo Bhagavan Devaki Sutaha. The presiding deity is the Lord Krishna, the son of Devaki, Devaki Sutaha. Moving on to the next slokam. Amrtam shudbhavo bijam shaktir devaki nandanaha trisama hridayam tasya shantyarthe viniyujyate. This slokam continues with the identifying characteristic of Vishnu Sahasranamam. Here what is mentioned is the seed or the cause, the bijam, the power, shakti, and the heart, hridayam. Those 3 characteristics are spelt out. Now, here an analogy can be given to, say you take any object like a knife, right? If you want to sort of identify the characteristics of a knife, you would say that the seed or the cause of the knife is really the blade and where the blade comes from. The blade comes from iron ore or iron. So that is the bijam or the seed or the cause of the knife. The shakti, the power of the knife, would be the tip of the knife, which gives it its stabbing power. So similarly, as you describe that object and its identifying characteristics, we are now looking at the bijam, the shakti, and the hridayam of the Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram. Amrtam shudbhavo bijam. The seed or the cause, the bijam, is he who was born in the lunar race, which refers to Sri Krishna. Krishna was born in the lunar race while Rama was born in the solar dynasty. Amrtam shudbhavo. When the milky ocean, Ksheerasagara, was being churned, one of the things that came out was the moon. So the reference to Amrtam shudbhavo is really reference to the moon here. Shaktir Devaki Nandanaha. The power, the Shakti, is the one who gave Ananda, bliss, to Devaki, Devaki Nandanaha, which is Sri Krishna. Trisama Hridayam Tasya. The heart is the one who is lauded by the 3 Sama hymns, Samaveda hymns, which is again Sriman Narayana. Shantyarthe viniyujyate. The purpose of its use of this stotram is the attainment of peace, Shanti. Moving on to the next slokam. Vishnum jishnum maha vishnum prabha vishnum maheshwaram aneka rupa deityantam namami purushottamam. Namami, I bow down to Vishnum, Vishnu, Jishnum, one who is ever victorious, Mahavishnum, one who pervades everything, Prabha Vishnum, the mighty, Maheshwaram, the Lord of the all, Aneka Rupa Daityantam, who destroys demons and enemies of many forms, Purushottamam, the Uttama Purusha, the best of persons, the most perfect. Now that we will stop there with that, and in the next session we will start to look at the full nyasam. Some parts of the nyasam were mentioned here, but in the next session we will look at the whole nyasam and what it means and what it signifies. Thank you very much.
Tasya loka pradhanasya jagannathasya bhupate vishnor nama sahasram me shrunu papa bhayapaham yani namani gaunani ख्यातानि महात्मनः ऋषिभिः परिगीतानि तानि वक्ष्यामि भूतये विष्णोर्नाम सहस्रस्य वेदव्यासो महामुनिः छन्दोनुष्टुप् तथा देवो भगवान् देवकीसुतः अमृतां शूद्भवो बीजं शक्तिर्देवकीनन्दनः त्रिसामा हृदयं तस्य शान्त्यर्थे विनियुज्यते विष्णुं जिष्णुं महाविष्णुं प्रभविष्णुं महेश्वरम् अनेकरूपदैत्यान्तं नमामि पुरुषोत्तमम्।